If you've only got 10 minutes with your kid before bed tonight, don't waste them. Because researchers say a few small daily habits from a father can shape a kid's brain, their confidence, and their ability to feel happy for years to come. The sad part is, most dads never even learn these, but in the next few minutes, you can. Picture this. A dad comes home exhausted after a long day. The door opens and his little kid comes running, arms up in the air. In that moment, the dad has two choices. One, just nod with his phone still in his hand. Two, bend down and scoop that kid into a hug. That difference seems so small, nobody would even notice. But people who study child development have found that those 2 seconds plant a feeling in a kid's brain. I matter. And that feeling ends up becoming the foundation of their entire personality. Now, here's the question. Is a hug enough? No. Because kids don't just learn through touch, they learn through your eyes too. When a kid tries to say something in broken half words and the dad puts his phone down and looks straight into those eyes while listening, the kid feels like what they're saying actually matters. Some studies have found that kids who get listened to like this every day grow up without hesitating to speak their mind. Think about it. The kid babbling in broken words today could be the one raising their hand in class tomorrow to share their opinion, as long as they're heard today. But listening alone isn't enough either, because kids learn less from words and more from actions. A kid drops a toy. They bend down to pick it up, drop it again, and start getting frustrated. Here too, the dad has two choices. Quickly pick up the toy and hand it over, or sit down next to them and say, "It's okay, try again, I'm right here." That second option feels harder, but that's exactly the moment where the kid learns that failing isn't the bad thing. Giving up is. Researchers found that kids whose parents stay present during these tough little moments grow up not running from challenges, but facing them. But this courage to keep trying doesn't just come from tough moments. It grows just as deep during the silly, fun ones. Picture a dad coming home tired from work, and the kid climbs into his lap and says, "Can we wrestle for a bit?" Most dads say, "Not now, later." But if the dad sits down on the floor and just rolls around with the kid for 2 minutes, lifts them onto his shoulders, tickles them, a completely different kind of trust builds inside that kid. Researchers found that kids who get this kind of physical play with their dad every day grow up better able to manage their emotions, because laughter and movement release the tension built up inside a kid right then and there. Now, here's something interesting. A kid isn't upset all the time. Sometimes they're really happy too, like the first time they climb a staircase alone or manage to open a jar by themselves. In that moment, the kid immediately looks back. Did dad see that? It's a tiny moment, just 2 or 3 seconds. But if the dad's eyes are on his phone at that moment, something empty settles inside the kid. And if the dad smiles and claps in that moment, the kid feels like they just won the world. Long-term studies on kids found that these small moments of recognition become the biggest foundation for a kid's confidence. So the question is, if all this can happen just from watching and listening, what impact does talking have? That's where another habit comes in. Say there are 2 toys in front of the kid, and they have to choose. Most dads jump in and pick for them. Take this one, it's good. But if the dad just asks, "Which one do you like?" the kid gets a sense that their own opinion actually has value. People who study child development say kids who get to make small decisions on their own every day grow up harder to pressure and learn to stand by what they think. Now, another question comes up. Is all this limited to just words and moments, or should there be a fixed daily time for it too? This is where those 10 minutes before bed really show their true importance. No matter how hectic the day's been, lying in bed at night and reading a short story, or asking about one good thing from the day, what was the most fun part of today? This habit fills the kid's mind with a sense of security. Some studies found that kids who spend this kind of calm, close time every night sleep better and wake up in a happier mood. But here's something worth understanding. Reading a story isn't just about reading words. The real magic happens when the dad pauses in between and asks, "What do you think happens next?" This makes the kid not just listen, but think. And that habit of thinking goes on to strengthen both their understanding and their imagination. And this kind of attention doesn't only matter at bedtime, it shows up in the smallest, ordinary moments too. Take the dinner table. Most families eat with the TV running or everyone on their own phone. But if the dad puts his phone face down and asks one simple question, "What was the best part of your day?" that turns an ordinary meal into a moment of connection. Researchers who study family habits say it's not the big planned outings that stick with kids the most. It's these small, repeated windows of undivided attention. Now think about it. One thing keeps repeating across all these small habits: paying attention, being present, listening. So, what's the biggest obstacle? Most dads don't actually lack time. The real problem is that even in the little time they do get, their mind is somewhere else. Work stress, the phone screen, or the day's exhaustion. This is where one simple habit really helps. Right when you walk through the door, before you even greet the kid, just pause for 10 seconds, take a deep breath, and tell yourself, the next 10 minutes are just for this kid. It sounds like such a small thing, but that small habit builds a wall between the whole day's exhaustion and those 10 minutes. But another question comes up here. Does that wall go up easily every single day? The truth is, some days the dad himself is tired, irritable, or stressed out. On those days, the kid still comes running the same way, still reaches out the same way. This is where the real test happens. Some studies found that a kid doesn't understand that dad had a bad day. They just understand that today, dad hugged me less. Today, dad's voice sounded tired. So it doesn't have to be full energy every single day. It's enough that even when exhausted, for just 2 minutes, the kid feels like nothing has changed. That consistency is what builds the kid's trust that dad will always be there, whether the day was good or bad. Now let's talk about another common mistake. A lot of dads think that showing love requires big gestures, expensive gifts, outings, vacation plans. But people who study child development have found again and again that a kid's deepest memories come from small, everyday moments. Sitting on the floor building a house out of blocks with dad, holding dad's hand while crossing the street, or just dad saying, "You did really well." These small moments are the real wealth, and they're free for every dad. So then the question is, if it's this simple, why don't most dads do it every day? The answer is, because it's not a one-time effort. It's a habit. And habits don't form overnight. They form through daily repetition. So you don't have to change everything today. Just tonight, when your kid goes to bed, try to keep your phone away, keep your eyes on their eyes, and let your words make them feel safe, loved, and important. Remember that moment when the kid comes running to the door, arms raised. That moment is waiting for you every single day. Those 10 minutes, which seem so small today, can become the foundation of that kid's confidence, happiness, and their entire future. No great success, no strong person is built overnight. They're built from small moments like these, repeated every day. So tonight, when you get home, don't let those 10 minutes slip by. Maybe it's a hug, maybe it's listening closely, maybe it's a short story before bed. Whatever it is, just start tonight. And here's the thing worth holding on to. You don't need to get it perfect. Some nights you'll be too tired to do all of this, and that's okay. What matters isn't a flawless routine. It's showing up again and again. A kid doesn't remember the one night dad was too exhausted to play. What they remember, years down the line, is the overall feeling of growing up. Did I feel seen? Did I feel safe? Did my dad show up for me? That feeling gets built one small night at a time, and tonight is one more chance to add to it. Tell us in the comments, which of these habits will you try first tonight?